Today I'll be presenting about a framework or library called Onyx. Uh, in this presentation, I hope to achieve uh, that you know more about Onyx, what it is, why it is useful, and how to use it. Okay. So, what is Onyx? Now, uh, imagine you are using a deep neural network to train on some data. You are using a large number of GPUs or a very big cloud cluster, and now you get a trait model. So what do you do? Like, now you think about inference. So what happens if the training environment differs significantly from your inference environment? For example, you train a model in PyTorch, but now for inference you want to use MXNet. To facilitate interoperability between these different frameworks, Microsoft and like many other big companies started a collaboration sometime in 2017, so just a few years ago, to create a unified platform to be able to use models trained using different frameworks. And so why Onyx? I answered that question very simply. But now consider you also want to run your models in a very constrained environment, like say edge devices or on mobile. So this is where Onyx really helps you do that. Like, you can train your model using a large number of GPUs. It can be very big, and uh, basically you have very few constraints regarding the inference time during training. But when it comes to inference, you will want a model that consumes less memory, runs very fast, and this is where Onyx can help you. So i- that this is basically the motivation for developing Onyx, and this is supported by a wide number of platforms. Like NVIDIA's TensorRT uses Onyx to support a wide range of deep learning frameworks. Qualcomm's Snapdragon Neural Processing Engine, that's an SDK developed by Qualcomm. It helps you support neural network evaluation to mobile devices, and it can be used to implement inference directly into Android apps without having to rely on cloud services. So this is why Onyx is a very useful tool. Uh, about using Onyx, installing it is very simple. You just have to do pip install Onyx, as simple as that. As for converting models to Onyx, it varies from framework to framework, but most of the popular deep learning frameworks either have a way to directly export the model in Onyx format, or there are like third-party libraries which help you do that. An Onyx file is basically uh, a protobuf encoded tensor graph built from Onyx operations. These operations are written in C++, and there are different versions for that called offsets. So each runtime, like for example, Qualcomm's SDK or TensorRT, has to specify which offset it supports and then support those offsets completely. Like, this improves compatibility across implementations. So, for example, if you convert a model from PyTorch and say you specify a target offset of 7, then your runtime must support the offset 7. But if it supports 8, then your model won't work. So I've made some examples using Jupyter Notebook to convert models from popular frameworks to Onyx. And I'll briefly explain how to do that in PyTorch, Keras, or TensorFlow, and MXNet. So Onyx with TensorFlow isn't supported out of the box, and you will need a Keras to Onyx to convert a TensorFlow or Keras model to Onyx format, and vice versa. To use an Onyx model in TensorFlow or Keras, you will need Onyx to Keras library. These two libraries are also like very simple to install. You just have to pip install Keras to Onyx or pip install Onyx to Keras. So converting models from Keras is very simple, but it actually is a very messy process. So let's start with a ResNet 50 example. ResNet 50 pre-trained with ImageNet. ImageNet is available in all popular frameworks. So let's use that. Now, when we load a model into Keras, we just have to use this command, keras to onyx dot convert keras, and you have to give the model name, and the target offset. Now, this target offset is very peculiar. Like, if you want to use this Onyx model elsewhere, you will have to make sure that wherever you want to use it supports a target offset of 10. And using the Onyx checker command, we can basically check that the model has been converted correctly from Keras to Onyx. Uh, this is a very tricky case, as I found when implementing this. To use an Onyx model back to Keras, like use it in Keras, you will need the Onyx to Keras library, as I mentioned previously. But the thing is, when I was implementing this, the library only supported TensorFlow 2.0 and above, but didn't support different versions of CUDA. And the one I had was incompatible with this, with the one that I used to convert a Keras model to Onyx. So you will have to juggle a bit to like get it in the reverse for this case. Like Nazar, if it's possible, I would like to share the Jupyter notebook as well after this presentation, and like people are welcome to use that to convert their models or just explore with different
So
frameworks.
sounds good. Please share it with me, and I can forward it to
Sure.
the meetup.
Uh, Onyx with PyTorch comes directly out of the box, so it's very easy to do this with PyTorch. Like you just have to specify the input shape for the model, give a model file name, and it's as simple as torch.onyx.export model. And again, you can check using the Onyx command whether the model has been converted correctly. Using a model, using an Onyx model in PyTorch is a hacky way. Like there's no support out of the box to do it, but we can manually like populate the weights and use the Onyx model in PyTorch as well. Uh, as you can see, I've given a dummy input that's the same as the one in previous slide, and we can check that the output shape is correct. Like for ImageNet, it should be 1000 classes. So moving forward with MXNet, MXNet was the easiest implementation for me to convert models to Onyx and use Onyx models in MXNet. Like there's direct out of the box support for both operations, like both ways, and it's very simple to do that. The only hassle with MXNet I found was that the documentation was very outdated, and like uh, updated versions of Onyx or MXNet might also be working now. So here it's also very simple, like you just specify the input shape as with PyTorch and just convert the model. Also using MXNet, you can just load the Onyx model into MXNet. You just need the data names and the input shape, and you can just use MXNet as an inference with an Onyx model. So these were examples of how to convert models from popular frameworks into Onyx, and like otherwise use Onyx models in popular frameworks. So with all these advantages, there are a few limitations uh, that are not trivial to ignore. So, as I said before, the runtime that you're using has to support the target offset of that you use to convert the model into Onyx. One more thing is different frameworks are updated with different like they are updated pretty quickly nowadays. Like new features are always coming in later versions, and they aren't in sync with their upgraded versions. So a model converted from MXNet using a certain version might not work in PyTorch, which uses a different version. And the best way to like ensure that the model works in whatever runtime or inference framework you want is to search Google and see GitHub issues. Like many people have faced a lot of like issues, but they have been solved as well. So the community forum is quite strong for Onyx, and it's more likely that you will find the answer you're looking for than not. One thing is that to keep in mind is to give an example of this. The model converted using MXNet doesn't convert the batch normalization layer properly, and you have to find a way around that. Like there is an answer in the issues, and it doesn't occur as long as you are using the same model to run inference in MXNet again. But those are the main points. Uh, I hope you found it useful. Basically, uh, you can use Onyx in a variety of ways, and it is mostly used for inference. That is out of the scope of this presentation, but many inference engines also support Onyx. Like you can use TVM or NCNN and a TensorRT and Qualcomm's NP SDK to run Onyx models converted from different frameworks into the hardware of your choice or using the inference framework of your choice. And that's all from me for now. And I would like questions for sure if you have them.
Great. Thank you, Chinmay. Again, feel free to type any